And TikTok is suing the U.S. government over a new law that could ban the app nationwide. The social media company claims the law is unconstitutional and violates Americans' rights to free speech. ABC's Rachel Scott and Alexis Christoforous has more on that. Rachel, this new law forces TikTok's Chinese parent company to either sell the platform or face a total ban in the U.S. So on what grounds are they now suing the federal government?
Yeah, look, TikTok and its parent company, ByteDance, are making it clear that they will be taking on the federal government. And they outline in this lawsuit that not only are they not willing to try and find a new parent company for TikTok, that they simply just will not do so. So one of the major arguments that TikTok outlines in this lawsuit is that a possible ban infringes on the rights of 170 million Americans who use the app right here in the United States. TikTok also argues that the Chinese parent company ByteDance cannot get permission from the Chinese government necessarily to sell a certain feature of the app that powers TikTok here in the United States. They also make the case here that it would take years to find a whole new set of engineers to sort of power the platform here in the United States. And so ultimately, it would lead to a shutdown of TikTok by the end of January of next year. And so they are taking on the federal government, and they say that they will challenge this all the way through the courts.
Alexis, we've heard potential buyers are lining up to buy TikTok. So what's the parent company ByteDance saying about a possible sale? Are they open to it?
They have made very clear they are not going to sell this company, and they actually say it's not feasible. To Rachel's point, they're saying they would have to transfer millions of lines of source code, which is the life's blood of TikTok, to the U.S. Then engineers here would have to come up to speed with that source code or that algorithm that makes the company so valuable. They say that could take years to have happen. And what a lot of people might not realize is ByteDance actually owns many different companies, and TikTok is just one of them. It does not mean a lot in terms of revenue to ByteDance. So in many ways, the company would rather see it be shut down and banned in the U.S. than actually sell it to an American-based company.
So what does this mean for users then?
Well, we don't know until January 19th. People are lining up, as you said, to try and buy it, including deep-pocketed companies like Microsoft and Oracle.
Yeah, we had Kevin O'Leary on this show talking about how he wants to buy it.
Yeah, come together with other rich folks, have a consortium of people buy this company. You're looking at it possibly being worth $100 billion with the algorithm. If they were to sell it without that algorithm, some are saying it could be $30 or $40 billion. Remember, 6 out of every 10 Americans under the age of 30 uses TikTok. This is a very valuable company.
So, Rachel, how are lawmakers responding to the lawsuit?
Well, for the most part, lawmakers are pretty united on this. You had this bipartisan bill that was passed in both the House and the Senate. It made its way to the president's desk, and he ultimately signed it. And they warn of the national security risks here. They say that by using TikTok, that the Chinese parent company ByteDance and even the Chinese government could then have access to your browsing history, even your location, as well as your data. Now, TikTok does deny those allegations. One thing that is also notable in this lawsuit, TikTok points out that even though the president signed that bill that could lead to a possible ban on TikTok here in the United States, the Biden campaign has a TikTok and has continued to use TikTok even after the president signed that bill into law. And so they argue the use of TikTok by the president's own campaign for 2024 and even other members of Congress completely undermines their arguments that this is somehow a national security threat, that they're putting Americans' data and privacy at risk. This is something I asked the vice president about just a couple of weeks ago when I interviewed her, and she said that they don't want a ban. At this point, they are worried, obviously, about the parent company of TikTok, but they're not going to comment on ongoing litigation, Diane.
All right, Alexis Christoforous, Rachel Scott, thank you both.